The wind blew across the barren plains of the Wild West, carrying with it the scent of dust, sagebrush, and forgotten dreams. The sun bled red against the horizon, painting the sky in hues of fire as though nature itself bore witness to secrets too heavy for the earth to carry. His boots pressed deep into the cracked soil as Sam Hartley, a weathered rancher with lines of hardship carved across his face, tugged at the reins of his horse. He had lived most of his life working the land, breaking colts, branding cattle, and fighting off rustlers, but nothing in all those years had prepared him for the chilling moment that was about to unfold. As he bent down to pull a loose piece of torn fabric caught on the fence post, he froze. For etched in its threads was not just cloth, it was blood-soaked, ragged, and marked with the faint scent of lavender soap he hadn't smelled in nearly 15 years. His chest tightened, and the memories he had buried like bones in the desert rose from their graves, threatening to consume him whole. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us of the hidden strength within broken souls, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Speaks. Your support helps us bring these heart-touching Wild West tales to life for souls searching for hope. Sam held the fabric in his calloused hands, staring at it as though it were a ghost. He knew this scent, faint though it was. His late wife, Caroline, had always washed with lavender soap, and though she had been gone for many years, buried on a hill where the sun kissed her grave at dawn, the memory of that scent was as sharp as a blade. But this cloth was not hers. It was fresher, newer, as though time had folded over itself and placed the past right into his trembling hands. His heart pounded as he scanned the horizon, where the prairie stretched wide and empty, save for a trail of hoofprints leading away from the fence. Something inside him whispered that this was no accident. Something, or someone, was trying to be found. For the next 2 days, Sam wrestled with his own ghosts. He tried to return to his cattle, to mend fences, to drown the questions in the steady rhythm of ranch work, but the fabric called to him. He couldn't shake the thought that someone out there, someone broken, lost, or hurt, was tied to it. On the third night, a storm rolled across the land. Lightning split the heavens, thunder shook the earth, and his horse grew restless. That was when he saw it again, a flicker of movement by the ridge, like a figure trying desperately not to be seen. Sam's gut clenched. He saddled his horse, the fabric still tucked in his coat pocket, and rode into the storm. The trail led him to an abandoned shack, half collapsed from years of wind and neglect. Inside, shivering beneath a torn blanket, was a girl no older than 17. Her face was bruised, her dress ripped at the sleeve, the missing piece matching the fabric Sam had found. Her eyes widened in terror as he stepped forward, and her voice cracked, weak and desperate, "Please, don't touch." Those 3 words, spoken with trembling fear, pierced deeper than any bullet ever could. Sam raised his hands slowly, not daring to come closer, his heart twisting with questions he dared not ask too quickly. She told him her name was Lily. She had run from something, someone. Her story spilled in broken pieces between sobs and silence. She had escaped from a wealthy land baron who treated people like property, who used threats and violence to bend lives to his will. Sam knew of the man. Everyone in the county did. Money and fear built his empire, and lawmen looked the other way when his deeds painted the dirt red. Sam realized then that Lily wasn't just another runaway, she was living proof of the cruelty this land still swallowed whole, and perhaps she was also a test of whether his own broken heart could still carry kindness. Over the days that followed, Sam tended to her wounds and gave her shelter in his barn, careful never to cross the fragile boundary she had drawn with those words, "Please don't touch." He mended her sleeve, set food where she could take it when she was ready, and let silence heal where words only deepened the pain. Slowly, trust grew, not by force, but by patience. And in her eyes, he saw shadows of his own past loss, as if 2 wounded souls had somehow been drawn together by fate's hand. But kindness in the Wild West was never safe. It carried a cost. Soon, word spread that the Baron was offering a bounty for Lily's return. Riders came searching, rifles glinting beneath the sun, and Sam's ranch became a target. He could have turned her away, could have chosen the safety of his land over the risk of defying power, but he remembered Caroline's last words before she passed, "Promise me, Sam, never stop protecting those who can't fight for themselves." That promise echoed like thunder in his bones. When the Baron's men finally came, Sam stood in front of his barn, shotgun steady, though his hands shook from more than fear. He was no outlaw, no hero, just a tired rancher, but that night, courage wore his weathered skin. The standoff was long, tense, and brutal. Gunfire cracked across the plains, and Sam fought with everything he had. He took wounds but never let them near Lily. And in the chaos, the girl who once whispered, "Please don't touch," found her voice, not in weakness but in defiance. With trembling hands, she picked up the shotgun Sam had dropped and fired into the night, saving him as much as he had saved her. The dawn came blood-stained and weary, but the Baron's men were gone, scattered into dust. Sam lay weak but alive, his body broken but his spirit unyielding. Lily knelt beside him, tears streaking her face, and for the first time, she reached out, not in fear, but in gratitude. Her hand touched his weathered one, and in that single gesture, something in both of them healed. It was as though the Wild West itself had whispered a truth they had both forgotten. Even the most shattered souls can find strength when kindness bridges the wounds of the past. Sam lived, though the scars would remain, and Lily found a new life under his protection. She grew stronger, learned to ride, to rope, to live free. And though she never forgot the darkness she escaped, she also never forgot the man who honored her boundaries until she was ready to reclaim her own voice. Sam, too, found something he thought he had lost forever, the ability to love, not in the way he had with Caroline, but in a new, quiet form, built not from romance but from trust, protection, and second chances. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Speaks. Stories like these remind us that kindness is not weakness, it is courage in its truest form. Your support helps us keep sharing tales of hope, redemption, and second chances across the world. Special request to comment: would you have risked everything, like Sam did, to protect Lily, or would fear have made you walk away? Share your thoughts below, we'd love to hear your heart.